much because it was so full. And I didn't realize it was so full. I would have reminded him in the morning. We keep it covered for obvious reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You have never seen an injured person move so fast. I was like, what the hell am I going to do? So I get up, I grab my walker, I turn it sideways because I can't, it's not clear. The machines there prevent me from going straight out, but the machines are on these really good slidey tables so that when I need to go, like yesterday when I went to the doctor, we slid them out so I can just go right out. I started to go like I was going to go to the bathroom and get towels, and I noticed that Jimmy took a shower the night before, and he's not dirty, so his towels aren't dirty, but he always insists on watching them every time. And thank God he did, because 2 towels were over there in the laundry. So I went over to the laundry, grabbed the 2 towels, came over here. I did my very best. I laid in the bed mostly. Yeah, I think I laid in the bed the whole cleanup process. I got in the bed and I laid on my stomach and I cleaned. It started to go under I keep a bath rug because the bath rugs are non-slip, and the new floor and my feet are not good friends. So when I go to get out of bed or get into bed sometimes, I always had a rug like to wipe your feet off when you get in bed, but the regular rugs like shoo. So I got a bath mat with the rubber on the bottom. So I lift up the bath mat because it's half soaked. I clean it up the best I can. We have the antibacterial wipes there. Thank God the antibacterial wipes are there. That's all I have to say about that. I clean the whole thing up. I lay the towels down, and it got over here. Like the electrical cord got splashed on, but it wasn't sitting in water. I'm going to call it water, so you just have to appreciate that. The surge protector wasn't sitting in water, but some of the power things got wet, so I took them and wiped them off. I put it up here, and the one thing that that we have to actually fix is one of the under the bed storage containers got wet on the edge and the bottom, the one that sits right here under me, and I couldn't do anything about that. So all I did was when I was done cleaning up the area, I lifted up the thing and I tucked the towel under it the best I could to hopefully absorb whatever and keep it from getting more wet. And then the other thing was if any had gotten under the nightstand, I couldn't tell. But I do keep this cover back there. So I noticed it splashed on the cover, but I couldn't tell if it leaked under the nightstand. Ladies, I know now that doing that whole thing with a backache already is really what made me fail yesterday. I'm not making excuses. I'm not giving myself, I guess I'm always giving myself grace, but I know now. I just way overdid it. And how do I know that? Because today, holy Hannah, I cannot get comfortable. I slept for about 3.5 hours last night. Maybe 3.5 hours. And at bedtime, I take all of the pain medication, including a new one that I have to take at bedtime. So to sleep for only 3.5 hours, you can imagine, it was bad. And I tossed and I turned since 12:30 last night. I tossed and turned and tossed and flipped and folded and went over, and I just did everything I possibly could to try to get comfortable, to no avail whatsoever. No avail. I noticed it was 4 a.m. and I was like, okay, I take one medicine that's supposed to be 3 times a day. So for me, a pain medication, I told you this already, I'm sorry for broken record, but for me, a pain medication that's 3 times a day is best served when it's 8 hours apart. Except the problem is at 8 hours apart, I would have to take it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because if I take it at 7 o'clock at night before we go to bed, then I take it at 3 o'clock in the morning next. And then 10, and then, so it would be 2? Yeah, 7, 3, hold on. 7 to 3, it's 8 hours, 3 to 11, and 11 to 7. So that would be the ultimate thing, but I'm not up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to have the digital assistant remind me it's 3 o'clock in the morning to get up and take my meds, especially when Jimmy has to be up at 5. So what I did was I spaced it at 5 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. So now it's 7 hours apart, but it is like 10 hours overnight. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to figure out the best situation. But what I said to myself, because I was up at 4, I should have realized this when I was up at 3. But when I was up at 4, I realized, I could go ahead and take that pain medication now. It would just help. I'm up and it's that, it's 4 a.m. and I could take it, and then it's 4 and 12 and 7. And I'm like, so how I have it right now is it's 5 and 12 and 7. So it's now 7 hours apart. But because the way that we sleep, and honestly, Jim needs to, it's like lights out here at 8 o'clock, and he gets up at 5. So it is like an extra, he is like 9 hour blocking it. It's not like it's not like a lights out at 9 and sleep at 9 and then get up at 5. But he does better with 9 hours, I just want to drink out of a coffee cup. You guys have no idea. I know that I get like anyway, okay, let me stop. So, I was like, I'm up at 4. I was like, I can go ahead and take that pain medication and see if that helps me fall asleep. And it didn't. I mean, after an hour or so, and then he went to work, and then I was able to flip over on the other side. So here's the thing. This new bed frame, which I like, I'm starting to not love anymore, because I told you guys in the beginning, it's got adjustable slats for comfort, like for cushiony. However, to make the slats adjustable, they have to be kind of short. So the mattresses, the box spring bed frame is broken up into 3 sections. Well, now because I have it loose, I'm starting to feel the sections. I'm starting to feel that there's a bar here that isn't giving. Like I've got give there and give there, but I don't have give there. And it's not a good placement for me. Like I almost feel like if they would have just had 2 sections but left like the edges of the bed with none, that would have been better, because people don't sleep at the edge of their bed most of the time. And, like we sleep here, but, like obviously I'm not hanging off the bed, kind of thing. So I'm starting to notice that, and I'm not liking it as much. I did see somebody just share on TikTok that they got a king size with just 2 sections that we might talk about possibly. I don't know. I don't even know if I could return this platform at this point. I have no idea how anything works anymore. But it is what it is. So when Jim got up, so in the middle of the night, I can roll in place and I can face that way and lay on the other hip, but I can't lay at like 90 degrees. I have to lay like straight with like my top just tilted a little bit. But when he gets up, I can lay 90 degrees. You guys have seen me vlog like this. My legs are here and my body is there. And that to me is way more comfortable. So when he got up and got ready for work, I was like, I'm going to roll over and lay there. And I did end up falling back to sleep for, I want to say about an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I put on Harry Potter and I woke up just when they got to Hogwarts, when they found Trevor. I don't know if you guys watch it. But that's roughly the time. So I had fallen asleep a little bit, which was kind of good. I kind of like, ooh, nap, So I will tell you though, last night I said to Jim, I'm like, if you want to empty the commode, he's like, it doesn't have anything in it. I'll wait till the morning because you go in the middle of the night. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Thanks. As long as you have time in the morning, I don't want to add more stuff to your morning routine. And he's like, no, I think it'll be okay. I was like, all right. Because he goes into the bathroom to get his hair done and stuff, so you could just take the potty with him. But, again, I just don't want to add stuff to his thing. And I know that, we're talking a lot about, like, all of this stuff that we have to prepare for when I'm not going to be here forever. This isn't my life to be, like, in this bed forever. This is just until we get some treatment done on this leg and figure out what the... Did I mention I was really disappointed in myself? Yeah. However, I have to forgive myself. It was the first time I ever had an MRI, so I could tell you that. I learned a lot. I just learned a lot, even knowing, like, reminding her to put the foam under the places. That was another thing I forgot. I skipped over. So she said I could put foam in all these places, and then we were so busy getting the knee adjusted and everything set up that we forgot to put foam in all the places. So there's that. Yeah. Disappointed in myself. Anywho. I was talking to Lisa yesterday just to tell her I would talk to Sharon, but Sharon's going through some stuff right now. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you may know, but if you're not, that's her information. But, I couldn't really talk to her yesterday. So I talked to Lisa and I was like, I'm so disappointed, this, that. And I was like, it hurt so bad. Everything was good for a really long time. And it was a really long time. And the other thing I said to Lisa was, I didn't notice the countdown in the beginning. I was like, closed my eyes and I was in the zone. And it was like after a little while, when I guess it started to become uncomfortable, I was trying to hear the radio. I opened my eyes and I saw that this little clock, I was like under it, so it was like a really weird angle, but I could tell it was a clock. And not until it switched from like 7 minutes to 6 minutes that I actually said 7 minutes, because I couldn't really tell, but I could watch it count down. So that's another thing I said to her. I was like, the next time, I'll make sure I'm comfortable, everything's supported, and this time I can actually focus on the time. I was like, I know me. I could say, okay, first countdown, 7 minutes. 7 minutes, okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so next one, 4 minutes. So 7 minutes and 4 minutes, that's 11 minutes. So let's watch 4 minutes countdown. And I can do that for an hour. And that will help me be distracted as well if I'm in pain. Plus, what's good about that is, when, okay, so you're 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, and you can count and be like, oh, there's only 8 minutes left. So here's a 4-minute timer, and then there's a 4-minute timer. Like, when it's going to end, because you're there for an hour, so you can count the hour. So that's one thing too. I told her next time I'll be able to do. So now we're back forward to the end of the day. The doctor's office called me. 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock. She says, my primary doctor's office, she said, we're going to send you just for the femur MRI. She's like, we're going to do it with sedation. You probably have to go to Springfield or St. Louis. And I was like, I don't need sedation. I told the lady that I don't need to be sedated. I just need a better pain medication for the time. Like, basically the pain medication she's got me on is great for this everyday comfort of laying in this bed and going to the bathroom and doing my minimal amount of exercise on my left leg and sitting up. Like, that's what's helping me be here. But what I realized is that trying to do all that needs something a little extra. So I said, I just need some like prophylactic pain medication, something I can take before. And I told her I had no problem with the MRI, the noise, the sound, the space, the table. I was comfortable. Everything was good. It just started to really, really hurt, like extra hurt. And I told her everything. I told her, like, I have trouble sitting, so sitting in the chair for too long, and then it was very bad, ill-timed, bad prepared, So she said, okay, call down to there and tell them that you need to schedule an MRI with no sedation. I was like, okay. She's like, where down there is? I'm like, you mean central booking, right? Central scheduling. She's like, yeah. So I called down to central scheduling, get this really nice lady. Central scheduling's open till 6:30. But apparently the doctor's office is only open till 5. So I call her and she said, well, we only have an order for you to have it with sedation. So we have to have the doctor put in a new order. I said, okay. So I called back up there. I called the number that she called me from, and it says, this is a number ending in 600, and this is not a direct line to anybody's. This is, and sorry for the inconvenience, and basically that. So basically, it's one of those like outlines that doesn't really get in. It's just for doctors to call out. Score. So then I call her the number that I have for her office, because I wasn't sure if the girl was calling me like from a different place or whatever. It actually came up as the orthopedist office, because apparently one time I saved the orthopedist phone number, that number, to the orthopedist. So I called back that doctor's office number, and it said that they closed at 4:30, and they stopped answering the phones at 4:30 pretty much. And then there was no place for me to leave a message. So I'm like, okay, call back tomorrow. But I went ahead and I put a message on the message board to tell her like what happened, and that they need to send down a new script for me to get an MRI without sedation. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't going in the next 2 days. I want to get it done. I want to get it taken care of, but I'm in way too much pain to put myself into more pain for the next 2 days. I'm just telling you that. I'm sure that they won't be able to fit me in either. And maybe they will, because it's only the one MRI now. I take that back. They might have splat. But I cannot go in the next 2 days. Absolutely 100% cannot go in the next 2 days. That being said, if they call me and they say Friday, I'll be like, okay. So I'm waiting. This morning. It's very early still. I think it's not even. Oh, that digital assistant went off at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you guys know it's not even 8 o'clock yet. So it was just. Today, I am still feeling the after effects. I took the extra pain medication that she gave me for when it's like extra. It's Tylenol with codeine, and it doesn't do a lot, but it does enough. It's enough of a push over the edge. I might have told you guys that I stopped taking all the ibuprofen and I'm taking Aleve instead, which happens to work really, really well. But again, it's 12-hour Aleve, and it actually says on the back of the bottle, it says 8 to 12 hours. But it's 12-hour Aleve, and I can tell you right away when it's 11 hours. Almost all the time. Or at least 11 and a half hours. So, I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it today bad. But we did get the commode emptied. We got all the stuff ready for this morning. Yesterday, I couldn't eat. It wasn't like I couldn't eat like this. I was just like, I didn't want to have that bowel movement happen when I'm ready to get onto the MRI table. That's really like the truth. I didn't want to have anything go wrong. Like, if I was allergic to the contrast, I didn't want to be able to like throw up or whatever, just all of breakfast or whatever. So I didn't eat. I had a spoonful of peanut butter with my medicine, and literally just a small teaspoonful. They just do that to help my medicine. You know, I have to coat my stomach with something, and that's hardly a coating, but it coats the pill. So I'm not doing that. Anyhow, that being said, all of that to say, no, I'm kidding. So today I'm feeling it, but I wanted to jump on here and tell you guys, because I know it, oh my gosh, so much love poured in before the MRI. I had gone into comments from a video of where we did the tables, and I had so many people just wishing me well, praying it went well, praying I got results, praying I got some relief. And I thank you so much. And I am sorry that your prayers, well, I'm not sorry for your prayers. I'm grateful for your prayers, but I am sorry that we didn't get any answers, because I'm done with this. It's really, really frustrating. By the time Mom came in, after she woke up yesterday, everything was already like laid out here. The commode was tipped upside down, but it was like 10 o'clock. And I knew Jimmy would be home like around 11. So I just didn't ask her to clean it up. But I said I didn't need anything. Everything was okay, even though it wasn't. Yeah. Boy, I tell you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, that's what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with, hopefully we're going to have a bowel movement soon. I know it's TMI, but trust me, if you've been here, you know, and we're rooting for it. Hopefully we find out when the MRI can get done without sedation, just with pain medication. Because I was there for an hour, and I could stand it for an hour. So being there for an hour next time, I know I can stand it. Even being in pain, even without extra pain medication, I know that I can stay there for an hour. It was the 2 hours that I couldn't do. So, and it was my doing. Like, I'd never had an MRI before, so I wasn't, and I'd never had this pain before, so I couldn't say like, yeah, that's no problem. But I know that I can lay on my back. I know I can lay still for 2 hours. You know. Especially if I've been put in a comfortable position. But that was the thing, is I really can't stay for 2 hours in one position anymore. So we're going to go ahead and do the femur one, and, hopefully get some prophylactic pain medication to take for the day. Excuse me. Yeah, and then I wanted to also let you guys know that I try to sit up every day, still in bed. I mean, I sit up multiple times a day. Like I told you, I try for as long as I can. I ask her to set a stopwatch when I gotta get up, 5 minutes and 32 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I got an extra 32 seconds. Oh. So I was like, I brag on myself, proud of myself for doing my work. And then I put bare weight on my leg. I was trying to tell Lisa yesterday, I don't think everybody knows, and I didn't realize that I wasn't really sharing it, but like, I can stand. I stand on my left leg for exercise. I want to make sure that my left leg doesn't get weak for the times when I do have to get to physical therapy, when I do have to go to the doctor's appointments. I don't want to have 2 weak legs. I mean, that's ridiculous. So what I do is, like, when Jimmy makes the bed, and I know I had questions about, like, do you ever make your bed? We had to wash the black and white comforter because I spilled my coffee cup. It wasn't leak proof on the black and white quilt. Sorry. And we are using the white quilt. However, he's like, I don't want to pull out the white shams. So we have no shams on the big pillows for now. Rude. But anyway, so we had to wash that. But anyway, I said to him, I'm like, when he makes the bed, I said to Lisa, when he makes the bed, I have to stand up all the way up against the wall so he can squeeze in here and get to the corner. Now, I don't have the strength and balance to twist and reach, and plus I'm too short. The commode is very wide this way, like it sticks out from the area, and I can't really reach from the standing position. And obviously I can't do it laying on the bed. So I stand. I said I stand for a few minutes. I try to really do the standing. I support myself, and I do like knee squats, like with the, and the left knee was always the bad knee too, so that's another one. But I got to keep the leg strong. I do leg lifts in bed. I can lift the bad leg most of the time because the hip is, that's what I started to tell you before. So that the doctor has me on 300 milligrams of gabapentin 3 times a day. That's the one that's every 8 hours. That has helped my hip pain tremendously. Now, I still feel it when I sit. I don't think I feel the hip because it's bone on bone. I think I'm feeling whatever's going on with the femur stretch up the muscle. And that's the way it feels. Like when I sit up in bed, it feels like my hamstring is twisting my knee. That's what it feels like. So I always, whenever I had a bad knee or whenever my knee would act up, I mean, I always had a bad knee, but whenever one of my knees would act up and I would sit up in bed, I would always just put the little pillow under it. I just tuck the little pillows under my knee, give them a little elevation so they wouldn't be locked flat like this. Nothing works for this. This is like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I said to Lisa yesterday, I was like, my body is doing things it never did before. She's like, and that's 50. She's so funny. She made me feel so much better yesterday, Ma. If you're watching this, I love you so much. Thank you for making me feel so much better yesterday. It is such a blessing. I pray for it for everybody that you have a friend who has walked or is walking somewhat similar issues, that does not judge in the slightest, but does give you the type of tough love that you respond to. And that's what she does for me. Sharon as well. Sharon her and I have walked through other things that are so similar. And when it's needed, she is the exact same way. She'll give me the kind of tough love that I need. And it's not just that I need, it's that I respond to. Because not everybody responds to, I've talked to you guys about this, not everybody responds to tough love the same. Not everybody responds to tough love. Some people just take it as an insult. You really have to know how the person's going to receive it. So they're both very good like that. My sisters are also very good like that. Janie especially. Janie just be like, get over yourself. And then Janie will remind me about all of the people. Like when I had all of these issues about going to the doctor, she was like, just pay them. Do whatever you need to do. Just go to the doctor. You want to be like this person and this person who never went to the doctor because they couldn't afford it? You want to be like, I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That was bad. Okay. And call the doctor the next day. So love you too, Janie. Mwah. And Alicia, of course, just like tells you how it is. She's just like flat out, get off your ass and do your thing, whatever. I love them. I love my family. I love my family. The family that God gave me and the family that I chose. I love them all. Hopefully you guys watch Jimmy's vlog and you see that he finished building the shed. I'm so proud of him. He did it completely by himself. And I said, he's like, well, I didn't do it all by myself. Mom came out and she spotted me a couple of times. I'm like, well, she spotted you? That's really you doing it by yourself. I'm like, even if she handed you like bolts, yeah, she helped you. Maybe we could say that, but really you did it by yourself, honey. And it's beautiful. And thank you to my gorgeous friend from the north who was so gracious to she's like, please, let me get you this. And I was like, oh gosh. Well, if you're going to get it from here, because it's the cheapest. I mean, I get told I cry too much, so I'm trying not to cry. I hold back all my tears, and then I fake my tears, and then I push out my tears, and then I laugh the next thing. Hey, listen, the fact that I can cry and then laugh right after it, that's my Irish upbringing. Sorry. It's the way my family is. The second thing, the fact that I can cry at the drop of a hat because I am an emotional person. I say to everybody, I'm like, I'm a Cancer. Just look it up. Anybody. You see that hat dropping, crying people. Just emotional people. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that's just the way I've always been. So, love me or leave me. We say again, right? That's going to be that should be on a t-shirt. Hi, welcome to my channel. Love me or leave me. Sorry, I have a dry skin flake that I can see out of the corner of my eye. It's gone. I could see out of the corner of my eye, and it was bugging the heck out of me. So I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for all of my friends. I'm grateful for all of you guys, because my life would probably be more unbearable laying in this bed if I didn't have you guys to talk to every day. And I mean that. As soon as my leg's fixed, I have other doctor's appointments that I have to schedule that I know I can't do now because I can't sit. Like, I have to go to the eye doctor, but I can't sit. It's all sitting at the eye doctor, you know. I have to go to the gynecologist. I have to get my annual pap smear and my, what do they, actually, they don't call it an annual pap smear anymore at my age. They call it a cervical cancer screening. And I have to go for colonoscopy that I was supposed to do last year, which I'm looking forward to doing, because maybe they could be like, hey, what's going on with your gut? And be like, hey, that's what I want to know, type of thing. But, yeah, I'm just super grateful for everybody. I'm super grateful for your support. You guys really means so much to me. I will tell you something, a side note, kind of a funny story is, I was on my comments and I think that the person's name, the username was Janie, something. I think it was not, because it wasn't her name. So the comment was, I was looking all over for a tutorial for this type of wreath, and lo and behold, it's my cousin. And I looked at the last name and I was like, I messaged her back and I was like, she's my cousin. So I have double first cousins. I think that's what they're called, double first cousins. We might be double second cousins, because I might be double first cousins with like her mom. But my mother's parents, brothers and sisters, married, like, so my mother's sister married my mother's father's brother. If that makes sense. I actually think that the uncle and aunt were married before my grandparents. So they have, like, when I look on my ancestry DNA, her mom is listed like my first cousin. She comes under my list of first cousins because that's how much DNA we match. Her and my mother would be like under siblings, even though that they were first cousins, because that's how much DNA they match. So I think we might be double. See, I might be double first cousins with her mom. That's what I'm thinking. Her mom has since passed, but, and out of the double first cousins, her mom and my mom, I felt like looked more like sisters, like a lot. I think like a lot. But anyway, I was so excited, and she found me on Instagram too, and I found her back on Instagram, and I did confirm it was her, because like my nephew Peter, who spent all that time in Philadelphia area where they all like lived around. Well, she didn't, but her cousin, her family, anyway, they all lived around that area. They follow each other and stuff. So it was just so nice to connect with her. And the last time was the first time I moved here, and I said that she lived in Arkansas at the time, and I said that I was at the Dunkin' Donuts that's outside of Little Rock, the first Dunkin' Donuts I tell you guys when I would drive that way I would find. She was like, next time you're in the area, come by. I was like, I didn't know you lived here, and I usually just drive through, but maybe we'll make plans to do something, I feel like I never know when I'm going to be coming through until the last minute or whatever. So, it was just nice to connect with her. And honestly, it was really nice to connect with her. So she's like, I can't believe I found you. And I was like, it's like a small world type of thing, Yeah, it was nice. That was a good story. Oh, for me anyway. Huh? But listen, I love you guys. I'm going to go because it's starting to become super uncomfortable. And I'm going to reposition so that it doesn't become more and more painful. So, I love you. Thank you for joining me. I hope this isn't too long. If it is, it will be in 2 parts, and this is the end of part 2. As always, you guys, take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.